Should we get something? Do we have like do you have an extra water glass?
Yeah, I can use my little cup thing.
For now, yeah. The tea here is really good.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I sat down with the winemakers featured in the April Wine Club with their U.S. importer Ariana Bolick of AR Wines. We met at the iconic BYOB spot, Wu's Wonton King, which is just off Canal and East Broadway in New York City. It was a rare and unique experience to talk directly to the producers and importer about their wines and to gain a little context within the broader world of Spanish wine. I recorded a small part of the lunch on my phone to share with you.
Do you want to taste the wine?
Taste them.
Pour them and then you take them home?
Let's do that.
It's a better use of it.
Let's do it.
Freddie makes wine all over the place, but maybe just to introduce what Torres.
Yeah. Torres Vini is originated in Spain 20 years ago in Priorat. And this is one of my projects I started in 16. I started with Garnacha, Conca Barbera. This is Trepat. The name of the color, 10.5 alcohol. So we make it a label for change a little bit and make more funny and more for the young consumer. The idea a little bit. Perfect wine for the summer. Pat, Conca Barbera. Conca Barbera is one of the most oldest viticulture in Spain because still of the monks Fen. And it's what we call the root of the monasteries. There's a lot of monasteries in that place. And before Phylloxera, the Trepat Do was one of the most used grapes in Catalonia.
These are markets that handle light-bodied wine. Fun and irresistible. You told me once that this wine was for babies. You're like, oh my god, it's just like the babies can drink it, you know?
It's the only label where I lie. You know, normally everybody is 15. Yeah, no, but 16 alcohol is 10.5. But appellation has me 11. But they don't control the wines. They trust in me. So I put 11, but on the bottle is sometimes 9.5, 10.5. So I lie to put more higher. In Spain, it's straight because everybody makes the opposite. You have 14, 15, and you put 12.
How would I know this is from this certain region in Spain? The high acidity because it's high altitude?
It's a grape that I take in the end of October, beginning November. Because in 1 month, take 0.5 alcohol. Normally in the other region, you take that in 3 days. You take 1 degree, I need 1 full month sun. So sometimes I harvest middle November, sometimes end of October. We are in the most higher point of Conca Barbera, is Cabra del Camp, the goats of the lands, the village. And it's the place where Conca Barbera from one side and Tarragona. And we are just here. It's like a mountain, and we are in gypsum. It's gypsum clay red, and it's one of the highest points of the Conca Barbera appellation. Everybody's more down. So I really higher, 900, 800 meters exactly. Normally the vineyards are 300.
Going to Tenerife. Just as way of introduction, Borjas region is like Listan Blanco, Listan Negro land.
Okay.
And like the north of Tenerife, where all of like the well-known quality players that we all know, all in this area in the north of Tenerife that is 750 meters, where clouds bring moisture and freshness and a cooling influence, and literally like a carpet over the best viticulture. So contrast, I would say the viticultural zone of South Tenerife, which is more like what you would expect off the coast of Africa. It's volcanic, it can do some interesting things, but it's hot, it's always sunny, there's no like cooling, mollifying, humidifying influence. And in the theme of his wines, you have some from all different altitudes. This Listan Blanco is from... ¿Es tu parcela más alta de Listan Blanco o casi? It's a lieu dit paraje that's higher and showing like the rockier, the more basaltic, sandy wines.
For me, the best area of Listan Blanco in the revelation, small place. The name, the wines are the name of the name. These ones have 2 different plots. One plot is it's a big plot. Each plot is a different version of here. 3 different moments of harvest. The first moment and the moment for the second moment fermenting in the first of South. Another plot, this is the same area. It's a small plot here. It's only 2 barrels per year. The best barrel is the finished wine. And 1 year in barrel for it.
What are some characteristics of the grape?
Son las características. It's not a high acid grape, but it'll create grape. So you get this tension. Really fine, slim, and long, straight in the palate. And a little bit bitterness that halagar, bitterness that lengthens it even more. It's the most common white zone as well. Said it's not always been appreciated for that reason. It's the most well adapted. Both Listan Blanco and Listan Negro are the most reliable and the most well adapted of the varieties there. And they constitute like 70% of in Tenerife, 70% of Listan Blanco.
I feel like I don't have a lot of context. The Inminate wines are really the ones I've had the most, and then the like entry level of these.
Yeah, the Dama de Invirete. Really different zones. They're right.
One thing that I noticed is a little bit of reduction, but not in necessarily a bad way. Is it the grape? Is that a characteristic?
Yeah. This is it. No, okay. Se nota reducción. You're talking about the Venetian ones, but also this one.
Yeah, just
so reductive winemaking, characteristic reduction, and then there's intentional reduction. Winemaking is the best and most efficient way of protecting the wine out using sulfur in the vinification. Reductive component that you lose. There are notes that you lose when you oxygenate the wine. So, but some of this actually there's a phosphorus and nitrogen note. There's perceivable phosphorus and nitrogen characteristics in the wine that's actually a component of the soil used. The reduction that he likes in his wines is the one that doesn't linger or infect like the rectal or even the palate. La boca, no? His ones you think are like reductive on the nose. We've all had those canary wines where you're like tasting the onions and the weird twisted sulfury notes like on the palate. Es la reducción más feo. Another thing that creates that strong note of reduction in Canary Island wines has to do with the vintage. So in vintages that have more hydric stress and more heat stress, have a lack of healthy vegetative material, which creates a shortage of nitrogen, which creates a less healthy or stunted or slower fermentation. And those fermentations will often result in reduction in the wine supply. Did I get that right? Yeah. So another component of the kind of reputation of the reduction in like the famous wines of Tenerife, like Invinite and Suertes and his, but they're different because Invinite and Suertes are releasing their 22s right now. He's on 21s. The reductive winemaking requires and also permits a more gradual aging, and releasing it 1 year later will also. Yeah, he's not forcing the wine kit before that part has resolved or integrated.
I think you taste it and you kind of get why people are so drawn to white wine. $18 retail white wine. It's really hard to get there. To jump.
So can you actually translate that?
Para almorzar.
Wow. Her partner has a restaurant. Her partner's an amazing chef. Has like a really great restaurant with an amazing wine list. And she said that even at like a high-end advanced restaurant, right? That will not bet on white wine at a higher price point.
Once people are introduced to it, they understand like they are equals. It's not like expensive red wine is here.
Sliding it into the wine was cool.
Interjecting quickly to say that Barbara was the farthest across the table and unfortunately the hardest to hear in the audio. One of the most compelling stories for me. She's a female winemaker in her probably early 30s, and her partner is a chef. She's not from the region, the Sierra Gredos, but she started the project in 2020, and she's a real example of this new generation really looking to the past and pre-industrial times and trying to preserve that history. Their project is the smallest of all the three in the wine club, And she worked with Ruben Diaz, who's one of the featured add-on wines for this month. Her story is really worth sort of diving deeper into, and she had a lot of questions about the Domestic Wine Club, about the people who are in the club, and curious about people's perception of Spain. Anyway, she was a real joy to talk to conversationally at lunch, but unfortunately, it was the end of the meal and there was a lot of chatter over, so here's just a tiny glimpse into what we were saying.
Yeah, well, los arroyuelos, our regional wine. Well, as I told you before, my family project with my partner that we started in 2020. So we are located in the west part of the Alberta Valley, which means the north. So the Villanueva, where we live, we are really focused there, is like the limit of the old vines to the west in Morelos. We go more to the west, we will find more old vines because we are really high in altitude, more than 1,000 meters, right? Bring to the mountains, so really like what used to be like a limit region in Morelos.
When you think of the wine and your partner being a chef, do you think about that at all? Or
Yeah, we think about we think about that all the time. I mean, at home we mostly talk about wine and food. It's always in the context of food. Yeah, I will say that I think Sabuelos now in it's like a really young wine at this moment. So in my opinion, now you can have it, with like a aperitif or this is super funny wine to drink along with some aperitif, but in 6 months from now, it will be more focused on rice and pasta and white meat.
are you from this area, Spain, or
Valladolid.
okay, where's that? Or
Close to River del Duero.
okay.
The big city in Castilla y León.
And then I have I can't send these with you, but you can specialize.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So cool.
I just got back to town and I got a bunch of things from storage. I use, as I kind of explained it, I use, especially like those listons, I'm saving them and we use for seminars and things. It's kind of like a waste to sell liston blanco with age when there's so little of it on them, and it's useful to show what it can do. And so I just save them and use them for seminars and things. En Pares es una serie of one-off wines. So they're one-offs, they're moments in time, they're experiments that he does for himself and to go outside of their line of wine. Impares means an odd number is impar, so 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5. So there was Impares number 1, Impares number 3, Impares number 5 so far.
Mr. Blanco 2016. It's 40 days in contact.
40.
Well, yeah, in barrel. It's a small barrel, it's 125 liters.
But this wine had 5.5 years in bottle. Número 3.
Un año.
Un año en barrica, luego 5 años y medio en botella. So the cool thing about the aging of Pinot Noir and whites, serious Pinot Noir and whites, especially Liston Blanco, is that it marks time so interestingly. This wine it had 1 year in 40 days on the skins, 1 year in barrel, but then he held it for 5.5 years in bottle before selling it.
I say start the marketing with the 2021.
And when it's in barrel versus bottle, it's starting to age in a more classic way, right?
Yeah. So he's saying that in this case, deciding factor was the skin contact and the intensity of the skin contact that infiltrates the wine. He said he doesn't care if it's from Australia or South Africa or Canaries or France. Wine needs time in bottle before release because of the skin contact. Pero
Que al final, y también es un poco
Ruben's saying that in the bottle, the wine evolves without softening or rounding, and in the barrel, it softens and rounds without evolving.
Nice.
It's a good way of putting it.
Genius.
Okay.
Last one.
This is where Costa del Tejar, the 21.
2016.
Okay.
2016. 2016 was a special year in this particular vineyard. 2016 was a vintage that demonstrates what they're looking for from this particular vineyard.
2016 was a vintage of special vintage in Gredo Julio in general. Like everyone thinks it's a Julio vintage. Like
Yeah.
Estamos,
It
estamos,
was intended to
mucha inflexión.
la parte, sí, pero el límite, ¿no? Vosotros estáis en el límite de los
Barbara's located in the more extreme west area.
Okay.
y nosotros estamos allá en la desembocadura.
This valley is just the end when waters go up and on the cool are more loud. So when we are here, the warm air, more high temperatures, more relative. Cool, the air cool is go down because it's more weight. So all the hairs on the windows from a region of Bavaria is going down like water to his place. So he received all the hair cold from his area.
And the wine was made to age, or the wine was
Small percentage of schist, the slate soil, rest more organic, and I think it for aging to the power.
Y además, buscar un poco más de maduración.
That's particular vineyard on question give more acidity and potential to age in the wine. Yeah.
it's really good.
I thought
That's
that
so
for
cool.
your customers, to show like the beauty of like the young, fresh, like Wonton, and then what very different zone, but like holes.
In theory, if this wine is made to age or is made to drink now, this
What kind of oil?
No, it's meant to be. But this is rantic soils and
So lo digo, the bottle of Ruben.
the Ruben is like so.
okay.
It's kind of different.
A fun brain.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so different. You know, that's the lovely one of the points we have in common compared to France or Italian. We don't feel the competition. You know, we are always together. That's one of the points I think Latins, especially is our generation here, sharing, building that synergy for explain. We need to others like a competition. So we need to explain to the people that Spain is unity, and we won't change a little bit that the ones of the past moving on for that.
Do you think your customers know about how diverse and complex a strain is in terms of wine?
I don't think I knew.
But that's a great selection to show
Yeah.
how different it is.
The AR wines, I've always heard so many amazing things, and I thought it would be like a very modern take on Spain. Yeah.